Kuigar. Greetings, I am Tad Larkin, the lore master of Manda-LORE, and today I'll be digging through the archives to elaborate on the Clone Wars, a 3-year conflict that changed the fate of the galaxy forever. The origin of the Clone Wars can be traced back to the creation of the Separatist movement, 24 years before the Battle of Yavin. On the Outer Rim world of Roxas Prime, Count Dooku, a former Jedi Master, announced his intentions to secede from the Galactic Republic, demonstrating to the people of the world that the Republic had become a corrupt, unstable body, rotting from the inside, being consumed by the corruption, much like a Roxan garbage worm. Though Dooku was secretly the apprentice to the Sith Lord Darth Sidious and was ordered to do so by his master, he wasn't wrong about the state of things. The Republic had indeed become a corrupt ancient government, in dire need of change, and many planets saw this and rallied to Dooku and his new Confederacy of Independent Systems. Centering around a weaker central government with the planets given more autonomy to govern themselves, the Confederacy of Independent Systems, or CIS for short, grew to over 6,000 member systems by 22 BBY. What's more, Dooku convinced the 6 major economic and technological entities in the galaxy to join the cause. With Bactoid Armor Workshops producing battle droids, the Intergalactic Banking Clan providing financial backing, the Commerce Guild providing raw materials, the Techno-Union's ingenuity, the Corporate Alliance's regulation of products, and the Trade Federation's influence over the shipping lanes, the Republic was definitely threatened. In the Galactic Senate, there was chaos, and while many senators called for the creation of an army, since the Republic's army was disbanded a little under 1,000 years prior, others begged for a peaceful coexistence between the two nations. The Military Creation Act was a hot-button issue in the Senate, and when the chief opposition to the proposed legislation, the Naboo Senator Padme Amidala, survived an assassination attempt on Coruscant, Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi tracked her would-be assassin to Commando, where he also discovered a clone army, ordered by a deceased Jedi Master 10 years prior. With 200,000 units of clone troopers ready for immediate deployment and Senator Amidala absent from the vote, the Senate folded under the mounting pressure, and the Military Creation Act was soon passed. In 22 BBY, 200 Jedi and an army of clones descended upon the Outer Rim world of Geonosis to rescue Padme, Obi-Wan, and his Padawan, Anakin, as well as attempt to end the war in a single engagement. However, Count Dooku and the Separatist leaders were able to escape and evacuate their forces. The Republic victory at Geonosis kicked off the Clone Wars, and the Republic could have pressed their advantage and overran Confederacy space. However, there weren't enough clone troopers after the battle, and 1 million more were still in the final stages of training. The CIS exploited this fact and deployed their forces along the major hyperspace lanes, effectively fortifying their borders. Republic forces invaded Atrakan, while the Confederacy invaded Murgoshir, and while Atrakan would turn into a year-long slog, resulting in a bittersweet Republic victory, Murgoshir quickly fell to the Separatists. The second month of the war saw a CIS offensive led by the Chiss General Severance Tan, who, at the Battle of Eridan Prime, captured experimental Republic weapons known as the Decimators. Eager to use these Decimator tanks, she turned her eye to the Wookiee colony of Alaris Prime, and after a swift victory, she moved her forces into the core on the volcanic world of Serapin. The tables turned on Tan when Jedi General Ichu Shenjon mounted a counter-assault on Serapin, defeating her and capturing the Decimators. Shenjon came up against Severance Tan again at the Battle of Krant in the Bothan sector, and after defeating her in a duel fueled by revenge for his Padawan who died at her hands on Geonosis, Ichu Shenjon exiled himself in disgrace. That same month, Count Dooku led CIS forces in overrunning the Republic listening post on Ren Var, securing the tomb of the redeemed Sith Lord Ula Keldroma and learning the location of the Force Harvester, power source to the ancient Dark Reaper superweapon. Its location was revealed to be Roxas Prime, which also happened to be the CIS capital at the time, and the Republic assaulted the system, resulting in a draw, Dooku's escape with the Force Harvester, and Anakin's capture at the hands of Sidon Prax. Anakin was held captive on Alaris Prime, and forced to witness the test of the Dark Reaper on the native Wookiee colonists, and was freed when Obi-Wan led an attack group to liberate the moon. Kenobi and Skywalker turned their forces towards Renvar to recapture the overrun outpost there, as well as learn more about the Dark Reaper, which Dooku had already used to devastating effect on Mon Calamari, Bakura, and Agamar. On Renvar, Anakin learned how to withstand the effects of the Dark Reaper from the Forced Ghost of Ulic Qel-Droma, and after the Dark Reaper was revealed to be located on the ancient Sith fortress world of Thule, an invasion force was quickly sent there. Anakin, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, Yoda, and Luminara Unduli led the efforts to capture Thule, and Anakin destroyed the Dark Reaper. However, Dooku managed to once again escape capture. While the double agent and Jedi Master Quinlan Vos, undercover as Corto Vos, was on a mission to the space station and trade hub known as the Wheel, he and Ayla Secura recovered the Separatist plans for an imminent invasion of Kamino, and quickly relayed the info back to the Jedi Council. Thanks to the intel provided by Vos, the Republic was prepared for the CIS assault on Kamino, and a host of Jedi, including Obi-Wan and Anakin, successfully repelled the attack on Tipoca City, saving the next generation of clone troopers. During that battle, the Advanced Recon Clone Troopers, or ARC Troopers, were awakened from stasis, and one in particular, Alpha-17, took a liking to Kenobi and Skywalker, and soon after, aided them on a mission to Naboo's moon, Oma-Da'un. While Kenobi, Skywalker, Alpha-17, Jedi Master Glaive, and his Padawan, Zul Zis, were fighting the Genndy bounty hunter Dirge and the Ratatakai Dark Jedi Asajj Ventress on Oma-Da'un, the Republic suffered Pyrrhic victories on Liana and Teyer. As a result of these disastrous battles that saw little gain and much bloodshed, many Jedi began to oppose the executive order demanding that Jedi Knights serve as generals in the Grand Army of the Republic, and threatened to defect, to which Mace Windu agreed to meet with the defectors on Rule in Hutt space. The Weequay Jedi Master Sora Bulg, leader of the Jedi defectors, showed his true colors when Asajj Ventress raided the meeting at his behest, and many of the would-be defectors returned to the Order after witnessing Bulg's treachery. Another Dark Acolyte had joined Dooku's ranks. Meanwhile, GAR forces invaded Pengalan 4, inhibiting the SIP's capability to produce deadly diamond boron missiles. On the agricultural world of Kilura, a crack team of Republic commandos, Omega Squad, eliminated a CIS research facility and captured the head scientist responsible for creating a clone-targeting nanovirus. Following the swamp gas disaster on Oma-Da'un, Kenobi and 4 other Jedi raided a CIS laboratory on Queta, and although they retrieved the antidote for the swamp gas, Kenobi was the only survivor after a trap sprung by Ventress and Dirge killed his Jedi comrades. 4 months after the Battle of Geonosis, Grand Master Yoda led a force to invade Separatist-allied Axion. However, a CIS relief force managed to repel the attack. On the crop-laden fields of Dantooine, Mace Windu's forces faced off against a Goliath seismic tank, and against all odds, the Republic managed to pull a victory out of what looked like a defeat. A few systems over on Munilinst, General Kenobi led the 3rd Systems Army in an audacious attack, and while he faced off against Dirge on the ground, Anakin led the Space Forces to victory against massive gun platforms and swarms of Nantex fighters. Concurrently, on Mon Calamari, the amphibious Nautolan Jedi Master Kit Fisto led scuba troopers into an underwater battle to aid the Mon Calamari against the CIS-backed Quarren Isolation League. On the lightsaber crystal-rich world of Ilum, Count Dooku sent Spelunker droids to destroy the Jedi Temple there, and although they succeeded, Barriss Offee and her master, Luminara Unduli, valiantly defended the temple and were rescued by Yoda and Padme Amidala, who were en route to a diplomatic mission elsewhere. While Anakin was mopping up the Sept forces in orbit around Munilinst, Asajj Ventress entered the battle, and after leading him into a dogfight throughout the city streets of Harnadain, she jumped to Yavin 4, where the two dueled and Anakin emerged victorious. The Kaleesh cyborg, General Grievous, revealed himself to the Republic at the Battle of Hypori, where he crushed the Republic's attempted assault on the droid foundries and single-handedly defeated 7 Jedi, severely injuring Shaak Ti, Kukruk, and Aayla Secura, and would have nearly killed Ki-Adi-Mundi if it weren't for a recovery team of ARC troopers. After recovering from her wounds on Hypori, Jedi Master Shaak Ti and Plo Koon led Republic forces to victory against secessionists led by Shogar Tok on Brental 4. Month 7 of the war saw Mace Windu leading Republic forces against the CIS-allied Balawai militia on his homeworld of Harun Kal, and after defeating his former Padawan, Depa Billaba, Harun Kal was secured by the Republic. Attacks on Republic supply ships on the Corellian trade spine near Devron began to appear, and were causing problems for the Republic's war effort. So, a team of Jedi, including Aayla Secura and Kit Fisto, were dispatched to Devron, and they succeeded in uncovering a corrupt Devronian senator and destroying the pirate outpost responsible for the raids. In Quinlan Voss's efforts to establish himself as a Jedi defect, he had to do many un-Jedi-like things to appease Dooku, and while accompanying Dooku during a political coup on Tibren, in which the planet realigned itself with the Separatists, he got his first assignment. He was ordered to his homeworld of Kifu to persuade the ruler of Kifu, Tinte Voss, his aunt, to defect to the CIS. However, when she refused, Dooku ordered Voss to kill her, and in his hesitation, it was revealed to him that Tinte had orchestrated the murder of his parents to ascend the throne, and succumbing to his anger, he slew her in cold blood, effectively crossing over to the dark side. 9 months after Geonosis, the Republic suffered from a media scandal, when, at the Battle of Besadro, 400 civilian ore miners were caught in the crossfire, and the blunder was dubbed the Besadro Massacre by the CIS Shadow Feed, the Confederacy's answer to the HoloNet. Elsewhere, the Republic lost Ord Canfree to the Confederacy, but gained control of Balamark thanks to the efforts of Anakin Skywalker. The CIS revealed their newest weapon, the lightsaber-resistant CB-3 series Cortosis battle droid on Coruscant, specifically at the Jedi Temple, and with the help of a handful of other Jedi, Anakin Skywalker routed the droids and saved the Jedi Temple. The Jedi were able to trace the Cortosis battle droids back to the Techno-Union Foundry world of Manda-LORE, and an assault was launched, resulting in the destruction of the Cortosis droid factory by Anakin. On Carteo, a fierce battle raged, and the Republic won the day as well as a handful of Spa-Artai cloning cylinders, which were subsequently transported to secret storehouses on Wayland and Coruscant's moon, Centax II. The Confederacy tried one last time to produce the perfect Jedi-killing droid, and they almost succeeded with the JK-13 bio-droid, if it wasn't for a successful Republic attack on the foundries on Ord Cestus led by Obi-Wan Kenobi and Kit Fisto. Thus, the first year of the war had ended, and while there were more Republic victories, they were mostly in defense. Meanwhile, the Confederacy's gains were significant but minimal, perpetuating a stalemate. The second year of the war kicks off with the Republic Commando Squad, known as Delta Squad, and their mission to the Prosecutor, a derelict acclimator assault ship that went missing sometime after Geonosis. The Commandos recovered the ship and discovered that the Trandoshan slavers scavenging on board were in league with the CIS and had set up slave camps on the Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk, yet nothing would be done about this until the final weeks of the war, after the CIS invasion of the world. Meanwhile, in the Seswana sector, Sullust defected to the Seps, and the Republic launched an unsuccessful invasion to recapture the planet. At Score 2, Mace Windu led the defense of the planet against a CIS invasion force, and succeeded against their foes, ensuring that the Rimma trade route stayed in Republic hands. When the muddy quagmire world of Jabim defected to the Confederacy, the Republic loyalists on Jabim fought a guerrilla war against them, the whole time pleading for the Republic to aid them. It wasn't until it was discovered that Jabim's crust was rich in precious minerals underneath the mud that the Republic finally sent a relief force, 1 year and 2 months after Geonosis, and the Battle of Jabim turned into a 2-month slog that killed almost every Jedi stationed there, with the exception of Anakin Skywalker. Obi-Wan and Alpha-17 went missing in action during the battle and were presumed dead by the Order, which was far from the truth, as Asajj Ventress kidnapped both of them in the confusion of battle, taking them prisoner to her castle on Ratatak. During that 2 months, Cabal was invaded by the CIS, and after receiving reinforcements from nearby Iriadu, the Republic managed to hold on to Cabal. After Anakin was left masterless on Jabim, he came under the tutelage of Jedi Master Asharad Het, who he joined in the defense of Argonar, which, like Jabim, was a disastrous defeat for the Republic. While on Argonar, Anakin suffered from one of his nightmares, and in his sleep blurted out that he killed an entire village of Tusken Raiders within earshot of his new master, who both dressed as and considered himself a Tusken Raider. Master Het agreed to never tell Anakin's secret, as that was his burden. He did, however, request that the boy be transferred to a new master. It was while raiding a pirate base with his new master, Ki-Adi-Mundi, that Skywalker was finally reunited with Kenobi and Alpha-17, who had escaped Ventress's castle and crash-landed on the nearby world of Riflor, close enough for Anakin to sense his master and come to his rescue. The planet of Thustra wanted to secede from the Republic, possibly with CIS backing, and the Republic couldn't risk losing another world, so Yoda was sent there to negotiate with the native Sephi, and when negotiations unfortunately broke down, a battle ensued, one that Master Yoda could not win. The Republic won a victory on New Holstis when the Mandalorian protectors, led by Manda-LORE the Resurrector and paid by the Seps, invaded the world, all thanks to Aayla Secura and Commander Bly. The Mandalorian protectors, along with the Crimson Nova bounty hunters, also hit the Republic world of Null, this time succeeding in annexing the world for the Confederacy. Around this time, the Battle of Megiddo begins, being assaulted by Ki-Adi-Mundi and his Galactic Marines, and lasting all the way until the end of the war, making it the longest battle of the Clone Wars. A year and 10 months into the war, Anakin Skywalker and a force of clones liberated Varujansai from a Sep occupation force. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Prolemian trade route, General Grievous took Togoria for the CIS. The CIS launched a massive assault on Aten-2 in a vain attempt to secure the supply of Stygium crystals used in cloaking technology, which was still experimental at the time, and the resulting battle was named Dryton after the Dryton Nebula, where CIS and Republic Space Forces clashed. However, the battle ended in a draw upon the discovery that the crystal deposits dried up many years ago. It was also at this time that the Confederacy launched their most daring offensive against the Republic yet, Operation Dirge's Lance. The CIS Third Fleet would position itself above Thyfera, while the First Fleet under General Grievous's command was launched from Yag Dul, and would carve a path of destruction into the core worlds up and along the Corellian trade spine, wreaking havoc within the heart of the Republic. Duro and Humbrain soon fell under Confederate control, and while Alderaan managed to repel the invaders, they would be so horrified by the battle that they demilitarized their entire planet, and all weapons were abolished on the world. Following the minor setback on Alderaan, Caecilius soon fell to Grievous, and in the neighboring Wemel sector, Grievous unleashed a vicious bioweapon, Lordovian Brain Rot Plague, which killed the entire human population and rendered the sector uninhabitable. 1 year and 11 months after Geonosis, the Techno-Union Bulwark carriers managed to break the year-long siege at Forast and began to raid outposts within the core worlds. In response to this threat and the threat of Grievous's push into the core, the Republic decided to launch their new Victory-class Star Destroyers 6 months early, and at the Battle of Anaxis, Captains Jan Dodonna and Terranald Screed managed to put down the Bulwark fleet. The second year of the Clone Wars came to a close, and with the CIS making substantial gains, it was clear that the Republic was on the losing side, and something had to be done. At Drongar, the Republic made an effort to capture the planet and exploit its Boda, a fungus with miraculous healing properties more effective than common Bacta, and with the help of Barriss Ophi, the Republic was victorious, and Ophi achieved the rank of Jedi Knight as a result. On the forgotten world of Honagar, a Republic assault ship brought down a Sepp freighter, carrying a deadly bioweapon, Trihexaphene 1138, and it crash-landed on the surface. The Republic took this routine data retrieval mission as an opportunity to field test their new Phase 2 clone trooper armor before issuing it to the rest of the GAR, and Aayla Secura was assigned to lead the mission to recover the scientific information package on the Trihexaphene. Quinlan Voss was also sent to recover the SIP by Dooku, and after a brief duel with his former Padawan, Quinlan allowed Aayla to get away with the SIP. Meanwhile, Honagar was slowly being poisoned as the Trihexaphene 1138 permeated its soil and got into the water supply, killing millions of native Noghri and rendering the world a wasteland. On Nadim, an invasion led by General Grievous was repelled by Luminara Unduli and Barriss Ophi. However, Grievous had better luck on the Ugnaught homeworld of Gentees, where the planet quickly fell to his forces. 2 years and 6 months after Geonosis, the Dark Jedi of Bimfash were put down in a Jedi-on-Jedi clash, led by Master Yoda, where he himself slew their leader. A month later, CIS forces moved in on Azure, but was fortunately repelled by Kenobi and Skywalker. However, the battle was not without its casualties, and a dear friend and former love interest to Obi-Wan, Siri Tachi, died during the battle. Anakin once again proved himself as a capable warrior at the Battle of Praesetillion, where he flew his customized Delta 7 starfighter through the bridge of the enemy flagship and escaped unscathed on the other side, due to a last-second micro-hyperspace jump. 2 years and 6 months after the Battle of Geonosis, Anakin was bestowed the honor of knighthood by the Jedi Council, and Obi-Wan ascended to the rank of Master, and was even given a seat on the Council. Feigning a desire to end the war with a ceasefire, Count Dooku lured Master Yoda to his castle on Vajun, where he hoped to turn him to the dark side, or at least destroy him. He succeeded in neither, and after a duel, not unlike the one they had on Geonosis, Dooku escaped once more. One of Anakin's first major assignments as a Jedi Knight was on Rendili, where the planet was threatening to defect to the Separatists along with its home defense fleet of mighty Dreadnought-class heavy cruisers, and a battle ensued when a CIS fleet entered the system. However, the Rendili loyalists prevailed, and aided the Republic in beating back the Seps. After Operation Dirge's Lance and Grievous's subsequent conquests, the Republic was losing the war, and badly. So to counter this, the Republic deployed a new wave of clone troopers from Commando, and secretly from Spa'artai cloning labs on Centax II. New Venator-class Star Destroyers began slipping off the Kuat dry docks as well to beef up the Republic's navy. With new soldiers, equipment, and warships, the Republic initiated a massive counteroffensive, designed to push the CIS out of the core and contain them in the outer rim of the galaxy, thus beginning the infamous Outer Rim sieges. After realizing the errors of his ways and being ostracized by Dooku following his failure on Honagar, Quinlan Voss returned to the Jedi Order with the help of his childhood friend, Obi-Wan, during the aforementioned Battle of Rendili, and one of his first battles as a recommissioned Jedi General was the Battle of Sayala Kumi. The Battle of Sayala Kumi would continue to the end of the war. However, after defeating Sora Bolg and Tull Skor with the aid of Aayla Secura and Master Thulm, Voss and his troops would be rotated out and reassigned to fortify Boz Pity. Meanwhile, Generals Skywalker and Kenobi overran a massive fortress at Bamas-Kori 4, ending the career of CIS General Oro Dasane. Fresh from their victory at Bamas-Kori 4, Kenobi led the 212th Attack Battalion on Sarish, and, although small firefights were won on the battlefield, the Republic ultimately lost the battle. In an attempt to counter the Republic's offensive, the Separatists began to launch their own strikes on Republic-allied worlds, such as Ordo and Bal Demnik, making a point to conquer 2 systems for everyone they lost. 2 years and 7 months after Geonosis, Obi-Wan made it his priority to track down Asajj Ventress and bring her back to the light side of the Force, believing that there was enough good left in her to seek redemption. And after a scuffle with Dirge on Marramir and jettisoning his escape pod into Marramir's star, they learned of Ventress's, Dooku's, and Grievous's location on Boz-Pity. Kenobi, Skywalker, and a host of Jedi, including Yoda and Mace Windu, commenced a lightning strike at the graveyard world of Boz-Pity, catching the Sept leaders by surprise, and although Dooku and Grievous escaped, Ventress appeared to be mortally wounded during her duel with Kenobi and Skywalker. However, she would escape one final time and cease to be seen ever again. The Republic laid siege to the Citadel at Zagaba, believing that the Techno-Union foreman, Wat Tambor, resided inside, and although the Republic was victorious, Wat Tambor managed to evade capture. Kenobi and Skywalker once again teamed up. This time, they took a small group of clones to assault Dooku's palace on Rue, to hopefully capture the Confederate leader. They were in over their heads, however, and Rue was a defeat. 2 years and 11 months after Geonosis, the duo, along with Commander Cody and the 212th Attack Battalion, assaulted the Neimoidia system, the last CIS bastion in the core worlds, and the worlds of Cato Neimoidia, Koru Neimoidia, and Deku Neimoidia soon fell to the Republic. It was at this time that Aayla Secura, along with the 327th Star Corps, assaulted the Corporate Alliance stronghold of Felucia, and the battle would rage on until the end of the war. Intercepting intel of an imminent CIS attack on the Outer Rim world of Belderone, thanks to the capture of Newt Gunray's Mechno-Chair on Cato Neimoidia, Kenobi, Skywalker, and the 5th Fleet lay in wait above the planet, and after a short engagement, General Grievous withdrew his attack on Belderone. After mopping up ground forces on a planet with a shielded city, Kenobi and Skywalker were tasked by Chancellor Palpatine to check out the Outer Rim world of Nelvon, where General Grievous was supposedly seen traveling to and from. Grievous was nowhere to be found, but Anakin did, however, discover and destroy a Techno-Union research facility, experimenting on the native Nelvanians, freeing them and saving their world from pollution. After their success on Nelvon, the former master-apprentice duo assaulted the nearby Tithe system on suspicion that both Grievous and Dooku were there. They were not. However, Tithe was resecured by the Republic. It was at this moment, 3 years after the Battle of Geonosis, that General Grievous made his most audacious move yet, and besieged the Republic capital on Coruscant. But the space and ground assault was merely a ruse for his true target, Chancellor Palpatine, who he successfully captured.
You're mine, old man.
I'm not afraid of you. You wouldn't dare harm the Supreme Chancellor of the Republic. Whatever would your masters say?
You are lucky they want you alive.
Kenobi, Skywalker, and the Open Circle Armada were quickly rerouted from Tithe to join the defense of Coruscant, and despite Grievous's best efforts to escape the system with Palpatine in binders, Kenobi and Skywalker thwarted his plans, boarding his ship, killing Count Dooku in a final confrontation, and rescuing the Chancellor. With the Chancellor safe, Dooku dead, and Grievous being the only leader keeping the CIS war effort alive, Yoda and the 41st Elite Corps liberated the recently invaded Wookiee homeworld on Kashyyyk, and the battle, like many during the Outer Rim sieges, would last until the war's end. The Republic got whiff of Grievous on Utapau, and the Jedi Council elected Obi-Wan to lead an attack group there and root out and eliminate Grievous at all costs, to which he did, besting the Kaleesh cyborg in a duel. It was at this time that Chancellor Palpatine revealed himself to be the Dark Lord of the Sith, and the mastermind behind the war, as well as the events of the last 20 years, Darth Sidious. And after a duel with Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, Agen Kolar, and Saesee Tiin, who were attempting to arrest the Chancellor, 3 were killed by Sidious, while Mace Windu was struck down by a twisted and manipulated Anakin Skywalker, who would be subsequently declared Sidious's new apprentice, Darth Vader. Palpatine then issued Executive Order 66 to all clone commanders on the front lines, who mercilessly gunned down their Jedi generals, and Skywalker, now Darth Vader, led the 501st Legion in an assault on the Jedi Temple, killing every Jedi inside, even the youngest and defenseless younglings. Vader was then sent to Mustafar, where the Separatist leaders were awaiting further instructions from Darth Sidious, and he slaughtered them all, not before issuing shutdown orders to all active battle droid units in the CIS. Obi-Wan survived his clone troops turning on him at the Battle of Utapau, and tracked Anakin to Mustafar, where the former master and apprentice met in a fateful duel, which resulted in Anakin's maiming and Obi-Wan's self-exile on Tatooine. And so the Clone Wars had ended, and Chancellor Palpatine declared himself Emperor Palpatine, transforming the Galactic Republic into the Galactic Empire. Though the war was merely a ruse for Palpatine to acquire power and exact the vengeance of the all-but-extinct Lords of the Sith, many systems continued to hold on to the ideals of the CIS, and some Separatist holdouts had survived even after the dawning of the New Republic. This ends my findings on the Clone Wars. If you have any suggestions for future transmissions, don't be afraid to drop a comment. In the meantime, keep your comm channels open for future transmissions, and don't forget to subscribe. Tad Larkin, out.